All right, we're going to do this one a little different. Been on the book a lot, and I'm not a Christian, so it's not right for me to stay there. Do today is I'm going to take two different religions and religion and mythology and show you something if your ears are inclined to hear. How do we get to what we call heaven? Well, we know we go internally, but we're going to go back to the Vikings for a moment. These are people just like the rest of this world. We loot, we pillage, we see how far we can get ahead in this world. It's all we care about until we start getting an awakening. How much more money can I make? What kind of car can I have? And this is the idea of the pillaging and stuff, taking from others when you don't need the stuff. Well, we know for them, Valhalla is a place they go and they fight the other men to see who the king is. Well, if you take this into the spiritual meaning that the source was still given even to them, this is about going internally, your mind and your heart. This is about fighting all the different versions of you from the morning when you wake up into the very evening, slaying them for the most part, the ideas of who they are. And then at the end of the night, of course, all those versions come back, and you sit down, you have dinner because you got to make peace with your inner self. This is an important part of the Viking mythology. This Valhalla is what we're doing internally, spiritually, fighting all the different versions of Joe that I have let the world dictate to me who I am. I've got to go to war with those things and get those out of there. That way, all of them are only one me. It's not I can be this, this, this. This is just who I am. It's not what I was told by my parents or by friends or by anybody else. I went in and I fought all these to find out the truth of who I am. Once I get through with that battle, and it's going to happen a little bit every day, regardless, because I always want to stand back up and try to take that power back. But they get to a point where there's just whispers in your head, that roaring line of this is who you are. Quiet voice. Let that quiet voice keep fighting those, getting those out one by one. In any quick process, I mean, I know I've been in this 4 years hardcore, and I didn't know how long I was in it before I was even aware that I was in it. But once you get that fight done, you slay all those other men, you get those other versions of you, all where they're unified with you, where it's just only you now. There's not I can do this, I can do I won't do that, and I won't do that because I know what that leads to. That's when we get heaven on earth. That leads us to inner peace. As above, as below. We've got to take that quality. And again, heaven is not above us like we think it is. It's within us. We're the temple. That's the problem with the way they understood it, back in the older days. Heavens. And fine, that is space, it is a heavens, but it dwells within us. We've got to bring that peace into us. That way it can spread through this world. We only do that by going through Valhalla internally. Once we get through that fight and we realize what's going on, there's a show, Vinland, and it's about Christians and Vikings. And through that, at some point, spoiler alert, show you're watching, where they show what Valhalla's kind of like. And the dude looks up and he sees a sliver of light up there, only because he's tired of fighting like this. This is what would be actually done after you realize or you slay all these and they start getting on your side, that you look up and that shows a whole bunch of different people. We have to understand spiritually in that scene, all those were the same person, Joe, but in different forms of who the world told me I am. And only once I beat those can I look up and start climbing out of this pit. Because if I try to look up, climb out of this pit while they're still there, they are going to attack me all at once. Can't do that. They beat me easily. While I'm standing down there fighting with them, and even trying to stay out of the fight, letting them weaken each other before I do it. However that goes, I'm getting deep into something that I probably shouldn't be. But once you get through that, and there's no one left to really fight, and they're on your side, and they all understand they're just the same you, they're not different people, that's when you can look up and you start coming home, you start going to heaven on earth. Everybody wants this peace and joy, what's coming next, and that's good. You should have that here. If you can't have it here, you're not going to have it there. That's part of the process. In my mind, let me explain to you what they say heaven is. An arbitrary number here, but just to keep it simple. We got heaven. We got 100 people in there, right? Heaven is you, me, making sure all the other 99 have everything they need. I'm not worried about me, not one bit. I don't need to take care of myself. If I'm taking care of all the other 99, and each of those other 99 individually are not worried about themselves for taking care of the other 99, what are we getting here, guys? Everybody's taking care of everyone else so well that no one's really got to worry about nothing. It's everybody. That's what it was back in the day, the community. And that's what heaven's supposed to be like. Not a, well, I need this, and no. That is you have to understand it's a glass house. You can't go there with that selfishness, that greed, because you'll break it, you'll shatter it. That's why we have to do that here before we can go to what we know's coming next. And yes, it may take several lifetimes because you do not live just one lifetime. You go through until your spirit within learns to control your flesh and come alive enough so it's welcome back. And again, it ain't like we're leaving the physical world as most people think, oh, we're just going to go around floating spirits. No. They went from spirits to here, and even before spirits to a physical world, and you think we're going to go backwards? That makes no sense. They want to move forward. We all are wanting to move forward. Whew. But we're not going backwards. We're pulling the spirit fully in here. That's why you see people with magic tricks and you can't figure it out. There's no way to figure it out. They're tapped into the spiritual side. And I can't tell you which side they're working from, but it's not meant to impress people, to show people things. It's meant to help. And I ain't saying any of them are doing anything wrong, but some of them are just using tricks. Some of them you're watching, it's like, how? Because they're tapped into the powers already. Because they went in deep enough. You can't, these power can't be given while you're divided. And it's not, I got a power. I've got an ability, which means I got a gift, which means I got a responsibility, which means what I thought life was, the hardest of that gets harder because you got to make sure that gift some of these people are doing. That's why I don't like it. They're going out and showing off and look at all me and look at all the stuff I'm doing and all the views and the money I'm making out of this. And they're not actually helping anyone or explaining what they're doing. That's not no good right there. Now, can I do it? No. I don't worry about messing with the physical world because the battle we're truly meant to be in is a spiritual war. I would assume these are people that ask for blessings, physical blessings constantly. And again, I ain't going to say they're wrong because that's what they're doing and that's what Source has them at. All I've ever asked for, the only that mattered because before I read any book, it was this spiritual stuff, this thing I didn't know. I want more of this. I need understanding. I need help. And then come find out the stuff that's in the book and the Bible telling you stuff. But you look through it and you find it anywhere where what we call a guru or whatever has sat down and truly went into themselves. This is stuff you should be reading because all of us go through similar stuff. And you don't know what you might need to read to get to your next level, to take that next step. And if you have confined Source to a box that you call God, you're never going to get to the next step because I can't go look there. I can't understand what Valhalla is really about. Well, it's kind of weird. I can pull that into Christian. I can pull a lot of other things into the way it's supposed to be because it's not a religion, guys. It's everything. But only what's meant for you is going to reach you for your next step. If I say something that's meant for 10 steps later, it should not reach you. It will not resonate with you because now you're trying to take one step with one foot. And you're trying to take the other foot and throw it up 10 feet. And you're going to stumble. It's one step at a time. I was in there with my mom a while ago. Walked in, was doing something, typing in the password for her, helping her set up one of her that Medicaid card stuff or whatever. And as I'm doing punching numbers in, she goes, well, make sure this is this and this. I'm like, Mom, I ain't doing this right now. We talk about this. Mom, he's good with that. I said, well, you understand, Mom, right now I'm taking a step doing what you told me to begin with, and now you're throwing me to the next step, and now I'm stumbling because I hadn't even finished this step. Now, she didn't take no harm by it, but that was a lesson for both of us right there. This is how it's taught. I'm going to slowly get away from scripture more and more because I mainly go into that because I know there's a lot of people that's been awakened to the spirit that have fallen into these false lies and doctrines and follow mankind and the church, just like they did before Yeshua came, and they follow mankind in the temple. That's not the buildings. There's nothing wrong with going to buildings, but why is it not at your house? Why is it not at your job? Why is it not with your friends? And it's not forcing us to name Yeshua and Jesus down, people, is why I'm moving away from it, because I know all I really need you to do is listen for the spirit of truth. Nothing else. The spirit of truth is the only thing that gets you there. Well, you got to believe in Jesus. Jesus was not his name. You translate that name from Greek to Spanish, you're saying, hi, Zeus. Stop that. His name was Yeshua. And even he constantly said, that's why everybody's like, well, he said he wasn't God here, and here he did. What he said was flesh. Like, Joe, I'm not Source. I'm not going to use that word. But when that thing did come out, and I won't use the word that they use because they're understanding, I am Source. That was not the flesh speaking. That was the spirit within speaking through the flesh. We all have that divine spark within us. We've got to tap into that. That's what we're actually fighting to bring alive. That is who Source made you to be. When you wake up to that, you are not Source. This is a version of Source that it plans for you if you want to go through it, and it knows that you'd like. But it never makes Joe Source. It never makes Joe anything more than this child that's looking up. Even in the end, I don't get lifted up greater than the master. We're privileged and blessed that we get lifted up to be equal. Again, we're children. We grow into what Source was. We get to do all of what Source has done after we mature and get old enough and enough apprenticeship to where we become, I won't use the word master, but journeyman or whatever level. I don't like that word just because I know there's always something above me. There's no level I will ever reach. Well, I will be Source dictating to y'all what y'all do. That's not my job. My job is to be me until y'all go find Source so you can find the source of who you really are. That way you can gain your knowledge back. You can gain your understanding back, your wisdom back, your life back. But yeah, look at everything. Don't just, if something pops up on your phone or hearing this weird, listen to it. Take it in. Don't try to understand it right then, but let it go sink in. Because at some point, it's meant to either show you a truth or to help show you a lie. You don't receive nothing for no purpose. But are you looking at spiritual, what it means? What it means deeper, and how to do that, man, that's something Source has to do. But you got to go looking for Source before he wakes you up spiritually. I mean, he was doing stuff, it was doing stuff, because there's no he or she when I'm talking about Source. It was only it, the beginning. Now, it splits into two different beings, so it can be a male and female, but even in both those beings, it's still just Source. We all are in the end. Because it wants to have a partner, it wants to have a family. You know, everybody's like, well, we're going to have a mom and a dad. And when it's done, there is no hierarchy. We're family. Quit putting titles to it. The being that has Source awakening at the most, that's closest to what Source is, will sit there and go, the one that would be the father and the mother. When this is done, quit calling me that. I'm your brother and she's your sister. That's all we are. We're a giant family. There is no hierarchy here. We don't need to know that. Family's the key here. And that's why Yeshua popped off, brothers, sisters, your family. He's trying to get that to us. This hierarchy that the world wants is what they try to set up in the beginning to keep us trapped here. Why do we need hierarchy? Isn't it everybody supposed to be equal here? Why does someone got to be better than anyone else? We're made in Source's image. That's a mental thing here. Everybody thinks about this physical body way too much. The very consciousness is what's of Source. That's where consciousness and thought and everything comes from. And it goes through several layers before it gets to us. Again, it goes from what we Gnostics called thought. To me, before it was thought, it was more of a dream. Then it became, as I thought, it dreamed, it gained thoughts, and then moved on. I'm not even trying to get into that. Whew. The point is we got to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Not just assume that a spirit is going to be the right one or a light worker is going to be the thing helping us, because Source is both. And you should be both. You should have a feminine. You do have a feminine and a male side to you. Every human does. That's why this transgender thing is going on, because no one has taught them what's going on here. You're supposed to balance it out. If you're in a male body, you're meant to be a male, just like the females. You're not meant to go back and forth. You have that other side inside of you so you can understand your partner better. Now, I am not condemning anybody that takes part in that. That is between them and Source. I am talking to people that are giving these people heck about it. You are fussing at people that are, you know what, I'm talking to the people that are spiritual. Quit fussing at these people that are not spiritually awakened, that they're spiritually speaking only, not physically, the blind, deaf, and dumb. Help talk to them and open their eyes and open their ears. So many Christians are worried about healing people's actual vision or hearing or something in the flesh. Why? We do greater things. That Yeshua did that. He brought us. We heal spirits. We wake up spirits within people. Quit worrying about, I'm going to touch your head and I'm going to heal your whatever. Fine, but what does it matter you've healed the physical body? Is the inside been healed? Why are you so worried about fixing the outside of the cup to make it appear perfect when the inside of the cup has not been fixed? Sorry, I get a little worked up over that. But the whole point of this is to go into yourself, battle with all the different versions of you that there are, and you're not looking for who you want to be. You're looking for who you should be. What is the best possible version of you for this world? What is the best thing, not for humanity? What is the best possibility? What is the truth for life that I need to achieve to help out life? Not just my neighbor, not just my mom. Life, planet Earth, the animals, the sea, the wind. It's all done spiritually. It ain't going to be done by me going out there and planting 500 trees. That's nothing bad to do. But y'all know how plants grow better when you talk to them and sing to them? That's the spiritual connection. That's why music makes vegetables and stuff grow bigger at times or even hurts them. Let your plants listen to music you listen to. See how they react to that music. If they're reacting in a negative way, you should not be listening to that music. If they're acting in a positive way, you should be listening to that music. They're going to show you. If they're neutral in it, the music is not bad, but it's not helping you. It's an idle music. It's not very good. People that plant or know more about this than I do. I don't got a green thumb. Don't know, never have. But I've seen enough stuff to know that stuff works on them. The same thing is the music on the mother's belly, because it helps the child, because it helps the mother, it helps everybody. Again, vibrations, thoughts. Where do thoughts come from? Thoughts don't move. There's no vibration to start getting something rattling in your brain. It's so much deeper, but y'all just want to stop at. And that's where you want to stop at. You won't see this video. And that's where you want to stop at, and Source wants you to see more. It's probably why you're here. But go within yourself. Fight between every version that you believe might be you. And look for the truth of who you should be for what's best for life. That is what's going to lead you to the source. It doesn't matter how hard it is. That's what makes you stronger. If anybody sees this and watch that and y'all, hey, he's got a lot of courage to do this. Go to my YouTube channel, go back to first try. And that was 4 years after the start of me trying to get this stuff out. It took me years to get where I could write this stuff and not understand what I was really writing or why, and be comfortable enough writing it. That was a first step before I could start talking, working my confidence up. Not really worrying about how wrong I got it. Do you have the faith to put this down on what no one says about you? That way you can learn through this. Most of these videos I do, just like the writing, I will go in my house when this is done, and I will play this back 2, 3, 4 times to make sure anything that I have given out, I have pulled back in and copied back into myself. That way I don't lose it. If I give you a piece of paper that gives you some instructions on it, and I tell you that everybody needs these instructions, if you do not first make a copy for yourself, you're going to give it out one time and it's gone. You need to make sure you have multiple copies of the truth in there. And if you're not sure, still make multiple copies. That way you don't lose something, because you can't know the truth from a lie if you don't have both of them in there with other things to figure it out. Again, pure light. Nope, never. Because even in that house of perfection that I was talking about, the glass house of the 100, it's still in us. It's part of us. Cut it off. It's more of a sealing it away. That way it can't come back out. But it uses a driving force. Let's talk about a perfect world, no harm, no nothing. We know, not super dirty, but light, dark humor is hilarious. Where if you go with there as pure light, there's no darkness in you, you can't get that little dark sense of humor that makes life exciting. That's what they want y'all to think heaven is. Going back there's no humor. Y'all seen the movies where everybody acts the same? That's what they think heaven is. We're robots. Source would have done that from the beginning if it wanted that. It didn't. Family choices. People need to be different. A little dark humor here and there does not hurt in a playful manner once everybody's ready for it. Because there are people here now. One person can make a joke in front of two people at the same time. One person will completely okay with it because they understand the joke. They understand the importance of a little dark humor to make life a little bit exciting. So does Source, because that's part of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been there to begin with. And the other person is not going to, and all they're going to see is that darkness. That's why we got to be careful how we use the dark in this world, because not everybody's ready for the light side of it, especially going through a spiritual battle where they're dealing with a lot of darkness. If you throw that light, dark humor at them, where they've been piled with darkness hitting them in a fight all day, that's the person that just got upset with you over a simple joke. Is it your fault, their fault? That's above me to say. But the point is, that's why that hurt that person. They have been getting hit by dark and negative stuff all day. You want to tell a joke, which is fine, but not knowing what they're going through or not being awakened spiritually enough to sense that they're, whatever word that is when you feel people, empath. you can't tell. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be telling those, and they shouldn't be going to those places anyway. So listen, that's not my business. But that's why it hurts people when you tell jokes. You're like, why did that bother? They've been through a rough day and you're not aware of it. Neither one of you're not spiritually awakened. Probably you can't feel it, or you're not tapping that power yet. They're probably not sure what's going on with them right now, and it just the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah, that's why we got to learn to control it here. Yeah, there's nothing in my mind that says what we call paradise ain't going to have a little bit of darkness in it for excitement, for fun. I mean, I cannot think of this. No, not for me, and not for Sword from what I hear. I think that's about all for this video. Because anything else I say is going to go into something else, and I can talk forever. Not always right, of course, but it helps. Anyways, love y'all, and talk to y'all for the next video.